The Acoustic Cafe, featuring folk and acoustic musicians from around the country. And with your host, Mr. Brad Paul. Today we bring you part of a special series that was recorded live at Walden 1120, a radio station in Concord, Massachusetts, celebrating their first anniversary with an open-air concert. Tonight our guest is Mr. Tony Bird from East Africa. And now from the summer of 1990 at Concord, Massachusetts, here is Tony Bird.
Zambia, Zimbabwe. Zambezi River running through the South Savannah line, rising echoes hum on the Zambian borderline. Looks like of the valley, mighty red and grand, winding through the hot bush of a Zimbabwe land. Coming from Kasane, running to a roar. Hear the smoke that thunders at the Rainbow Falls. Cutting to Kariba, crying at the war. Calling on the river, the big Zimbabwe bird. Zambezi water coming down. Zambezi, Zambezi. Oh, Zambezi water coming down. To Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe. Brown Zambezi river bringing down free waters for Zimbabwe. Zambezi, Zimbabwe, yeah. Zambezi, Zimbabwe, yeah. Over all the bushland, the river spirit blows. The ruins of Zimbabwe's grey and granite stones. Deep inside her walls, an ancient legend stirs, taking to the skies the big Zimbabwe bird. Hear the waters of the river, see the big Zimbabwe bird. They are singing of a new love in a new land of Africa. Zimbabwe, 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 Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe bird flies again. She's great and busy, running proud and free, rolling to Kanyamba, onward to the sea. Hear the mighty waters singing as this world, calling on the river, the big Zimbabwe bird, yeah. Zambezi water coming down. Zambezi, Zambezi. Oh, Zambezi water coming down. To Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe. Brown Zambezi river bringing down free waters for Zimbabwe. Zambezi, Zimbabwe, yeah. Zambezi, Zimbabwe, yeah. Zambezi water, come down Zimbabwe, come down Zimbabwe, freedom in Zimbabwe.
Hi, I'm Brad Paul. Welcome to the Acoustic Cafe. This program is part of a special series we're bringing you from Walden 1120 Radio in Concord, Massachusetts. It's their annual open house, free concert, where one of the performers is Tony Bird. Hi, Tony.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Enjoying the wonderful weather and the good crowd here?
It's a really wonderful occasion.
Yes, indeed. Good radio is a rare thing, so we need to celebrate it wherever it happens.
That's true. And this station is certainly part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've been busy making a record over the last year or so, and word has it it's about to hit the streets.
Right, it took a while, but I believe October the 15th is the release date, and I'm happy with this one. Yeah.
It's been quite a while since Tony Bird's had a record. Now, you recorded last for Columbia?
Right, back in 1978 was my last album.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went through a period which wasn't particularly good for singer-songwriters for a while now. And then the kind of African thing became more popular, and I seemed to gain some momentum.
Tell us a bit about your African roots and connections.
Well, I come from Malawi, East Africa, and I was born there and I grew up there. And when I was growing up there, I was surrounded by all kinds of music, rural and urban African music, imported pop music, some country and western, folk music from South Africa. So I have a very broad range of influences in my music. So my show tends to be full of different textures, flavors. Some of them more African influenced than others. And I've also lived overseas and in England and Europe and traveled quite a bit. So there's all those influences in music too.
Now, having been associated with what is now commonly referred to as world beat or world music for many years, in fact, I remember doing an interview with you probably about 8 or 9 years ago, and you mentioned township music, which is at the time something that I and probably most people on this continent had never heard of, and of course now it's burning up the airwaves, or at least public airwaves, and programs like Afro Pop on National Public Radio are very popular. How do you perceive that transition that came about in the United States, the awareness? What do you attribute the awareness, the increase in the awareness, and also the enthusiasm now that the music is enjoying?
Well, I think reggae and Caribbean music helped pave the way, and then just the sheer political focus on Southern Africa as well, I think, resulted in some exposure to that. And I always, myself, obviously Paul Simon's album played a big part in introducing it. Although, you know, African performers have been coming over to the States for the last 20 years, I think, for a long time. But I was not surprised when it became more popular, because it's very infectious music and it's good to dance to, and it has a lot of feeling.
Yeah. And a lot of it has some roots and influences from American popular music.
Right.
It's kind of this travels over there, comes back here, goes back over there. It's this great cycle of exchanging of ideas.
Yeah, some of the newer stuff does, right? Right. And so, you know, the new album obviously contains elements of those influences. I think it's more focused than my other albums, and it's recorded with a fine band.
Now, you mentioned Paul Simon's Graceland. I understand some of the performers that recorded on that are with you on this record?
Most of the performers are. A lot of the people who play with Paul Simon come from Hugh Masekela's band, and I'm friendly with that band. So it was a logical step to invite them, you know. It's more or less the same band except for the drummer and the bass player, although Bagiti does play on one of the tracks on the album.
Now, as a performer, whenever I've seen you, you've been essentially a solo artist, except for once I saw you at Winnipeg with a great band. Now, was that the same people that were playing with you in Winnipeg, or are those other folks?
That time at Winnipeg was, most of the musicians in that band were from Harry Belafonte's band, and I'm also pretty friendly with that group of people too.
Now, do you find it easy to make the transition back and forth from playing with these great and rather large ensembles to being a solo performer on stage?
It's been an adjustment. It really isn't a problem for me if I do it once in a while quite regularly. If there's long gaps, it's a little bit more difficult. But I've been feeling more and more to play with the band. You know? But I also enjoy. I wouldn't like to, you know, lose the intimacy of performing alone. You know? And it's fine.
A lot of your songs speak about the African experience and of the African struggle. Do you perceive the situation over there as getting better, worse, and how do you see it relating in the continuing relationship with your own music?
Well, what's happening over there is, in a way, what's been happening in the rest of Africa as Africa kind of discovers its new roots. There's been a lot of similar sort of happenings as is happening now in South Africa with the tribalism clash and things. I don't know quite what's going to happen. I haven't been there for a long time. I write rather universal songs about the situation that are drawn from my personal experiences there in the past.
Sure.
Sorry Africa, which is the title track of the new album, is trying to be a healing song, and it's also a song that's recognizing the context of history in that part of the world, of what really happened. So that's an attempt to be involved in a positive way.
I want to thank you for coming by and taking time out of this great day to speak with us here in the Acoustic Cafe.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks again.
I had a very good time.
All right.
Take care.
Take care. Good luck with the new record.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be back with more of Tony Bird on the Acoustic Cafe right after this.
You may not think the gas gas you can save makes a difference. Or the amount your whole neighborhood can save. Or even your whole town. But when you see how much gas America can save every day, when we all drive just 5 miles per hour slower, it's easy to see how the little bit you can do makes a lot of difference. President Bush hopes you'll do your part. Drive smart.
Gosh, Darlene, it sure is amazing how much we have in common.
I know, Larry. We both love three-car pileups. We both were built in Buffalo.
And we both know wearing safety belts help save thousands of lives.
Yeah, this is fascinating.
Don't mind Vince. He's getting over a bad breakup.
I know. Janet's picking up the pieces, too. They're in here.
I wish they understood it's all worth it to get people to buckle up.
Hey, lacerated lovebirds, I sense a major crush.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Talk about head over heels.
Would you please welcome our next artist who has an album coming out on Rounder Philo. It's due out October 15th. It's called Sorry Africa. Mr. Tony Bird.
She lends her sympathy to sorrow, gives herself in love. When she judges evil, she sees the cause. Yes, her eyes see the real situation. She demands you to be as she speaks. Honey, you're just like a true wind, blowing sweet and free. Yes, her love of her life's contagious. She moves with the universe. Her body is nature's a temple, a sacred home. She's not afraid of life's great mystery. To be the one is to be alive. Yes, your every move's a wisdom, an example to every eye. She lives in simple solitude, independent of the stream, deciding for herself about tomorrow. She's apart from class and fashion. She flows through the winds that blow. Honey, you're just like the first flower, awake in the late winter snow. She's a dainty, dashing dancer. She glides in another realm. Her beauty is of calm and a kind repose. Yes, she knows just where she's going. As she slices through the air, she flies as high as the skies allow. But she's already there. And her dreams are tempered reason, but she can cry with the happiness. You may think her words sound reckless in their flight, but she's found that you just can't live under fear and illusions are gone. Yes, to look at it used to see what I know I must become. Yes, she's found that you just can't live under fear and illusions gone. Yes, to look at it used to see what I know I must become. Thank you very much. It's Himango time. Well, the #1 time special of the year is a mango time, mango time. In Africa, the big rain come again. It's a mango time, mango time. It's a mango time, man. Yes, you feel so good when you look up in the trees and it's a mango time, See everywhere the big green and yellow juicy. See mango time, See mango time, mommy. Now my woman complain to me, mango time, mango time. She says night and day while you always up in the trees. Me you never see at the mango time, Now when you finish the mango, please you plant the seed. So everybody in the future have a mango tree. Eating mangoes all the way down through the years. Eating mangoes till they come out of our ears. And when it's mango time, mango time. Mango time. See mango time in Africa, mango time. See mango time in Africa, mango time. What time now? Mango time, tell me. What time? Mango time. What time? Now there's something that I just can't stand to see. It's mango time, mango time. Cause the monkeys up inside in my mango trees. It's mango time, mango time. It's mango time. Anyway, fruits it. Now the mango is so juicy and so sweet. It's mango time, mango time. Better take a bath when you start to eat. It's mango time, mango time. It's mango time. Now when you finish the mango, please you plant the seed. So everybody in the future have a mango tree. Eating mangoes all the way down through the years. Eating mangoes till they come out of our ears. When it's mango time, mango time. What time? Mango time. What time? Mango time. See mango time in Africa, mango time. See mango time in Africa, mango time. Life is very simple. Follow the mango, follow the mango, follow the mango. It's mango time. What time? What time? What time? Woo! Mango time. It's mango time. Thank you very much. Almost into Cape Town, hitching down from the great southwest. I was dropped in Athlone, a town of black distress. Now apartheid says you can't be there if your skin is white, and it's a lone, angry place to be. And I mean dark Saturday night. Now when a man ain't nothing to live for, he drinks a lot of booze. Maybe even fighting, can I help him blow his fuse? And I hadn't gone 10 paces before I pulled up dead, as I saw a young man bottle another's ear right off his head. Oh man, I felt so helpless, and I trembled in my shoes. I felt like a sacrifice for the years of bad news. For it's hard to tell a man you're with him when he's always been misused. When all he's ever known from a white is hatred and abuse. Well, the streets went on for hours. I felt lost and alone my screen, and the glances I was getting like a dagger through a screen. And I wish that the shadowed sidewalk would open up to swallow me down. So a lot of questions are to be answered when you're on the other side of town. I tried to take a taxi, but they can't stop for whites. And the phones are all been robbed, and the guts was hanging out. And I heard my heart a-pounding in the alleys in the night. And every time I turned a corner, I thought I felt a knife. Oh man, I felt so helpless, and I trembled in my shoes. I felt like a sacrifice for the years of bad, bad news. For how can you tell a man he's a black skin gonna make no difference to you, when all he's ever known from a white is hatred and abuse? In a sea of tin town faces, I suffered all their scorn. Their anger came from places that most whites have never known. And I staggered on through jungles of sullen hissing snakes, and I cursed the law that breeds a man of a bitter hate. Apartheid, 20 in South Africa, yeah. I finally found a cop shop where they all look like Capone. But brother turns on a brother just to behold the law. And a cop looked up and said to me, what you doing here in this zone? I said, man, I seen a mad dog running, and he's gonna come and bite us all. Just like today. Oh man, I felt so helpless, and I trembled in my shoes. I felt like a sacrifice for the years of bad, bad news. For how can you just not care about your people are so misused, when it's your freedom bleeding with the hatred and abuse? Thank you very much. All right, let's go see what's happening to Kalahari. Deep in the dark Kalahari, in the night bush around a fire, a band of sand dance and sing and listen to the stars. For the stars are the greatest hunters, you can hear their cries afar, and we praise them so when we hunting go, fill our hunting hearts. Listen to the stars. That's it. Whispering from afar. Hunters of the dark. Fill our hunting heart. And in the dawn we were gone in the thornfield, and we tracked down a kudu bull, and an arrow flew and found its mark. Oh, thank you, kudu, for our food. For the stars are the greatest hunters, and they heard our call afar. And that night we danced and thanked the stars for filling our hunting heart. Listen to the stars. Love you. Whispering from afar. Hunters of the dark. Fill our hunting hearts. And out on the edge of firelight, a mother holds her child up to the violet heavens and the garden of the stars. And she sings, oh, bless this child to be the hunter of all time. And the spirit of a great, great hunter was reflected in his eyes as they listened to the stars whispering from afar. Hunters of the dark, fill our hunting hearts deep in the dark Kalahari, in the night bush around a fire. A band of sand dance and sing and listen to the stars. For the stars are the greatest hunters. They see everything from afar. And if you listen, you'll find peace of mind with the luck of the hunting star. For the stars are the greatest hunters. They fill the universal heart. And if we listen, we'll find peace of mind with the love of the hunting star. Listen to the stars whispering from afar. Fill our hunting hearts listen to the stars whispering from afar. Listen to the stars listen to the stars. Blessings. Thank you very much. But brother turns on a brother just to have a hold the law. And a cop looked up and said to me, what you doing here in this zone? I said, man, I seen a mad dog running, and he's gonna come and bite us. Whoa! Just like today. Oh man, I felt so helpless, and I trembled in my shoes. I felt like a sacrifice for the years of bad, bad news. For how can you just not care about your people are so misused when it's your freedom bleeding with the hatred and abuse?